Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Natives in America podcast. This is going to be episode 9. And unfortunately, the episode that was meant for episode 9 was going to be our episode with our very first guest, Linus Yellowhorse. And I went back and tried to do a little editing on it, and it looks like it's going to take a lot more work. So we're going to skip forward to the next episode for this episode. Just want to say straight out to Linus, hey man, I'm really sorry. I know, we set up the time, we took the time to record it. I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to try and edit it in such a way that we can hear all three of us on it. Like that was the problem. I went back and I was hoping it'd be a simple fix, but it's not. So we're going to have to get a little heavier on that. So definitely in the future, me and Sky are going to call you back and we're going to have more episodes with you. But unfortunately, this one's on a side burner right now until we can fix that. So moving forward, I'm gonna use episode 10, the recording we did for episode 10, and we're gonna play that. I'm producing that one right now as episode 9, and we're just gonna have to come back to you, Linus, on either a brand new episode that we're gonna have to record, or once I do some heavier editing on it, we can maybe get it up and share it with everybody. So sorry, Linus. Sorry to the audience. Well, Linus is in there too. This episode, I think we called it the holidays episode, and it's funny listening to it because we're already all the way into November now, and this one was recorded August 26th. So it's a little dated, and really, I never really thought about that really playing an effect. But I guess when we pair it with events, like the current events, that's going to kind of date it. So this was a little weird listening to, because I was like, I'm hearing what I'm hearing. You're going to hear that we're talking about August and it's already November. So I don't know if we're going to do anything about that just yet. Whereas like every time we release the Wednesday episode, we'll be releasing the current one. I don't know if we're ever going to get there, but right now, the weird feeling that this episode gives me talking in August, we might just have to do something about that. So I guess this is a side note that me and Sky will have to discuss or whatever, but for your guys' listening pleasure, this is episode 9, the holidays episode. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us, and sorry about these continuing growing pains, but like really if you were hearing the episodes we're doing now, I think we're really catching our stride. Like this is a good 20 plus weeks invested in what we've been doing right now, and like I said before, we're only getting better. The photo for this current episode again is another Ronnie James photography photo, and like I said before, if you guys are looking to see more of his artwork or to comment on our episode or talk to him about his work, you can definitely find him on Instagram at Ronnie James Photography on Instagram, and if you just look him up that way, you'll be able to find him and see more of his artwork. You can even talk to the artist yourself. So the reason I picked the photo list for this episode just kind of shows seasonal kind of thing. Like it's a photo of a blooming Palo Verde, and it's just beautiful. It's stunning in high definition, like the photo that he actually took. I always wonder if the quality of our YouTube video ever really captures what his true photos are capturing. So I always feel like you're not getting the full thing right there, like the full image of high definition that he's actually shooting for. So I always feel like we're doing a little bit of injustice to his work, but I still love looking at his photos. Like, doesn't matter what we're doing, what the subject matter is. It's always a little stunning to me. Like, I always like his work. So, like I said, find him on Instagram. And if you have any comments on the episode, whatever, feel free to throw them on our website. Go check him out on Instagram. I think you can even find Sky on there. And for this video, I hope you guys are all subscribed to the Reservation Radio Network, and I hope that you're all hitting the bell notifications so that when every time we release these episodes, you guys can get first play as we release them every week. So again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for sticking with us, and this is the holidays episode 9 going on now. All right, we're live, or not live, but we're going. What's today? Today's Wednesday again, and what is it? The 20 I want to say 27th, but I don't think that's right. The 26th. All right, so it's the 26th. It's the evening. This is Benjamin Juan and Sky Anton. All right, so hold on, I gotta adjust my volume. So holidays. It's August. It's fucking August right now, and I work at a hardware store, and the shelves are already looking like Thanksgiving and Halloween. I was just over at the hardware store right now, and I was looking at their Thanksgiving decorations and Halloween.
Yeah.
And I think I was driving down Broadway. This sounds weird. Let me work on my mic here. So I'm driving down Broadway, and they already, you know those Halloween stores that kind of just pop up during the season. Like
the costume shops.
Yeah, like they rent like empty buildings.
Yeah.
I just saw one, and I swear to God, there was two of them. They were called the Halloween store, and there was two of them probably within less than a half mile from each other's.
Yeah.
So it must be big fucking business. I bet they ship a bunch of stuff in, like big time, and then they're getting better and better at it. So they've been doing it more and more. I kind of wonder if they bet on the wrong year, like you said. Is Halloween still going to happen if we got this big Corona thing going on?
Yeah.
All right. So you were just now telling me you had an opinion about.
I mean the Halloween is probably the they spread the most germs to each other than any other holiday. Because you're going from house. Well, I'm talking about kids in general, going house to house.
Well, kids in general, whatever season, they tend to spread germs.
Yeah, but on this holiday, you're going to places you wouldn't even go on a regular day. Well, at least that's what I assume. But yeah, I was in town on Sunday, and I saw costumes and people looking at them. And, I mean, I guess there's a safe way to have Halloween, but it just, the way that things are going, everything's canceled, everything's over with, it's like, but maybe I don't know, I guess.
Maybe they're being super positive and just thinking it's all going to be over.
Yeah.
By the time October 31st comes around.
Oh. I mean, like, I guess my family, we could still have a Halloween party with us and dress up, but
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of.
You can wear a costume to that too.
So I mean, that's. maybe I'm jumping the gun and saying we can't have Halloween because Corona, you know.
Yeah.
Lately it feels like Corona's been fucking with everything, so why not Halloween and Thanksgiving, you know? But
yeah.
But what we were talking about, what I said was the commercialization of holidays, and like what you're saying, like now is the time where that fall colors, the pumpkin latte and shit, like
all the spice, pumpkin spice, everything.
Yeah, yes, it's that time, and
yeah, it's fucking early. It's fucking August.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't pay attention to the time, but. I mean, that's the next major thing that we all kind of get excited about, I guess.
Next time you go to Starbucks, see what pumpkin spice they got. I bet they already have it out too.
I haven't seen, but it's coming.
I mean, swear to God, pumpkin spice everything.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice, pumpkin
macchiato.
pie. Yeah, all these concoctions wherever you go.
No, hey, there was a big old pumpkin head scarecrow thing at Costco that was like moving around. You decorate your house with Halloween shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm being too much of a Grinch. But I'm like, nah, we're supposed to be social distancing or whatever, or I mean, not just, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too safe or being too judgmental about it. But, I mean, I always kind of felt that way where it's a reason to sell something, because it's this time.
Yeah. Which
is, I mean, we buy into it, and I mean, I love Christmas and New Year's, but then they're like ones like Thanksgiving where it's just a time to eat, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was all of that. I just, the stuff we buy during that time. And the way it's sold to us and packaged, sort of a trip. But yeah, I just because this year is a lot different, you're kind of like you're wondering what's going to be acceptable and not acceptable. Yeah, I guess maybe the pandemic is just. Or the idea or concept of it is kind of just fucking up your thought process. But even still, I mean, we still gotta buy candy,
Fuck that! I'm gonna turn out all my lights and just hide. I'm gonna watch horror movies and put a.
I know. You wonder how.
Move fucking on.
No, you wonder because it's like, just because it's Halloween doesn't mean you have to give out candy.
Yeah, no.
So it's like...
Now that I'm older, it's kind of like I'm looking forward to drinking. You know what I mean? Like hanging out with people and like, we're gonna get so drunk.
I'm not worried about the candy. You're like, yeah,
I'm gonna get fucked up.
Yeah. Well, that's the segue into Halloween and drinking, I guess. No, honestly, Halloween falls on a weekday.
Oh, damn.
And usually it feels like it's been.
Yeah, I think last Thursday, I didn't ask for the time off, and I should ask now. Last Thursday, I had to go to work that night. And I was kind of pissed about that. Like, I wanted to I took my boy out, my two. I don't know if they're legally step kids, but my kids, my baby's mom's kids, and we had to call it early. And again, I wanted to drink then. I wanted to cook out or something, family style. Yeah, and I wound up at work selling all this crap that for or what was left. We were probably already selling Christmas by then.
I
was probably selling Christmas trees on Halloween night. How about that?
Nah, that's how it goes. I mean,
motherfucker.
Because Thanksgiving is sort of like just the middle.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I look forward to it too.
Nah, it is, but calendar-wise, it's it's down in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out there. It's just maybe the week before you're like, oh shit, that's not.
Nah, but for real, but Christmas is people start right at December, but even my grandmother, she'll bring it into January. It's just sort of like a.
No, the Christmas lights don't come down at our house.
Yeah.
There during October there are Halloween lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and what's funny, I didn't expect you to mention it today, the Thanksgiving, but earlier I had just realized, oh yeah, Thanksgiving's coming too.
Yeah.
We were looking at the display at Home Depot, and they had their fucking Halloween and Thanksgiving displays up. And I was like, oh shit, the holiday's coming up, Thanksgiving, and I look forward to it. Go home, we all kind of pitch in and cook some shit, and then just hang out.
Yeah.
Eat probably 3 times in a day. Snacking all day on leftovers.
That's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah. Yeah, just
it should be. It should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's been some bad Thanksgivings for me, but I won't go into that yet.
Well, everybody's
no, but I'm thinking more with Thanksgiving for me, it was always sort of, I guess it wasn't really much of a thing, or it was, but it was just sort of, growing up, we sort of lived, we lived in Tucson for a little bit, and then when my mom became a teacher, we lived in teacher housing. And so we lived in apartments and a house that really wasn't ours.
Yeah.
And until my mom got her own house, which was our house, but it wasn't.
Yeah, us too.
There was a lot of traditions that weren't started yet, and
that's cool.
And sort of when they came around, and we had to, address them. It was I wasn't protesting all of them, but a lot of times, I'll do my research or whatever. I don't know. It's
protesting.
It's. I guess it was protesting, but it was kind of Thanksgiving has a lot of notions of this peaceful.
Yeah. Well,
dinner,
it's connotations to it. It's got little asterisks next to it.
But then there's a lot of trauma and darkness that's not put into the story, and it's just kind of it's this magical night or magical times, where the natives and the pilgrims were I don't know, and I don't know enough to say this or that, but all I can say is, going back to it being a date on the holiday, we get off. What is it? We get off for like 4 or 5 days. Some of us.
Yeah.
And then there's Black Friday after. I mean, it's definitely this crazy time of the year that's
fucking shoppers time.
Yeah, that we're kind of programmed to consume. And
yeah.
So when we started kind of having like our first Thanksgiving, and then actually, first time being in this house, it was sort of like, we made the turkey here, and all the main courses were here to make it a Thanksgiving, and it was almost like, regardless of the meaning outside or the American interpretation of the holiday, but for us it was, us cooking an epic meal and kind of enjoying everyone's company, because that's how. But the one thing about holidays is, like, there's a good meal usually at the end, and so like Thanksgiving was really the gathering of everybody that was, that made it there, that was important. So, it was almost like it means something different to us in this house. So, but anything else, it was more, this is what we do on that day. I mean, it might not even be anything separate, but...
Well, that was going to be my comment, was I think we're not celebrating the same thing.
Yeah.
It's become a family thing, and we just happen to maybe get some time off for it. Like, it just, in general, people get time off during that time, during this holiday, or holidays in general. And, maybe, we're not actually celebrating that time. We're just, taking the time that we have off to, like you said, cook a badass meal. And, it's become its own thing. It's evolved over the years. Like, at that point, it has that dark history, and then it becomes kind of like a commercialism thing, and now it's a mix of, well, maybe it's family. That was the original events, then family, then commercialism of the holiday, and then we're kind of both of them now. They're a mix, which I think about all the time. I think about where we're headed on like a long enough timeline, and how things will evolve. Like everything, like I'm always, that's where my mind's at all the time. And I always, when I'm thinking about a concept, I tend to take out that out of my back pocket and go, well, what's this going to be 20 years down the road? And I've been alive 34 years now, and for us, it's a family gathering now. The Thanksgiving, or most holidays, I guess, a reason to get together.
Yeah.
And hopefully we have some time off. It's not really celebrating that. Well,
yeah,
it's kind of like the people tearing down the statues and all that. Like, they're like, oh, it's celebrating this horrible thing, these horrible times. And sure, it has that history, but that's not what I'm celebrating. Thanksgiving, I'm really celebrating family and taking the time. And it just happens to coincide with this dark history.
Yeah.
And that's what it's evolved to, from the time that it actually happened, supposedly, and to now. And it just so happens on this timeline, I had to figure out what I liked about the holiday. And it was usually a big meal, family together, and then a really good nap after the meal, and then eating the second you wake up, and then watching movies together, and then eating another meal, and then having a sandwich, maybe slice of pie. With together, you know, together it's basically pure family gluttony. We're just all chilling together, chowing on all this shit that we brought together. And I always liked it better when we did it together, like cook the meal together. I remember a bunch of times where it was just my mom hooking it up, like slaving away, and we're bitching about having to do chores like clean the house or whatever. And now me and my sister have basically tried to take over the cooking.
Yeah, it's funny how you get more responsible and you want to be a part of it more.
Yeah.
Opposed to just being a spoiled kid and
little asshole.
No, but you know how I was saying, like, it really was kind of an optional thing. A few times we were in Vegas and it was Thanksgiving.
Oh, no shit. Did you hit the buffet?
It was just sort of, I mean, I think that was sort of a point where the holiday was, like, it wasn't that much of a big deal to ditch that holiday and go to Vegas.
That's what's up.
But now it's different because, like I said, like, you know, talking about like taking over the meal, I think with Thanksgiving maybe more than other holidays is like if you cook the meal or you're part of it, it's sort of like, I don't know, well, for me, I think I like cooking if it's for, like, you know, family.
Yeah.
I really don't, like, I'll cook for myself, yeah, but if I'm cooking for, like, my niece or something, or it's, like, trying to do a good job, you know, like, I want this to be good, you know, I'm not trying to, I guess, not be acceptable, or for them to say they don't want it, even though they might, you know, but I guess it was more of a, not an honor, but just sort of like, I'm glad if I could, you know, satisfy your hunger and be,
provide,
to be that one to, hey, he fed me, you know, he cooked something for me, you know, I think that was a more, that's epic, you know, that's not, it's almost better than money in a way, but, it was, so Thanksgiving is almost like the ultimate, you know, ultimate way of sort of showing that you care, or that you're, wanting to not please but satisfy the hunger or whatever, however you see it. I think it's just, I want you to enjoy this meal. So,
with me,
yeah.
Like let's eat it together. Something I cook.
So I mean, and then with Thanksgiving, I think the turkey.
Pork turkeys.
Is sort of like the.
Pork chickens, pork cows.
I mean, I think anything else could be left out, but you take out the turkey, you know, that's not. I don't know if that's much of a Thanksgiving. No offense.
All right, but yeah, no offense. When you went to Vegas, did you eat turkey? Anything?
Nah, we ate. Actually, we might have. Yeah, we did eat turkey, but it wasn't like a. You know those turkeys at the grocery store, the rotisserie turkeys, they're all small.
Oh yeah.
I think they grabbed a few of those.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Turkeys though, or chickens? Because I'm used to a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I think you're right. Chicken. No, so we ate chicken, not turkey.
Fucking blasphemy, bro. Blasphemy.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna suffer if I don't eat turkey on Thanksgiving. You know.
Yeah. You'll live.
But like.
Well, tell me for goddamn sake that you ate a pumpkin pie. I will reach through this phone and choke you.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so.
Oh my god. No, sorry, I was being dramatic.
I know. I don't even remember if I even had a dessert. Like, it might have just been a slushie or something.
You know, Cameron and Alice?
No.
And Charles? The Antons?
No.
You don't remember Paul Anton?
Paul?
Yeah. Paul, Joyce, Cameron, Alice, and Charles.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, my cousins. Anyway, they'll come over and, like, maybe the day after Thanksgiving or maybe Thanksgiving night. Like, usually we'll just do our meal by ourselves. Like, just our family. Our immediate family. I don't know how you describe it. The four, well, 5, 6, and the kids. So 9 of us now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, what was I getting at? Oh, so it'll be us, and then either that night or the next day they would come over, and we kind of made a tradition now where they'll come over, we play board games and eat like desserts.
Oh, nice.
Like, you know, a little bit of ice cream, some cocoa, like basically sugar overload, and we just play board games together.
Yeah. When did you guys start that?
I think we're at least 3 years strong. I mean, they always stop by, but we started doing like they'd come and bring a little food. We'd feed them, you know, or whatever we got, and then we'd just play the games and just kind of, you know, big group up in the kitchen, in the living room, and we got like the games going, and we're trying to involve everybody. And then, like, as night goes on, we'll start breaking into smaller groups. Like, some are talking, the kids are playing the games. You know, little separate little groups, but we're all like enjoying ourselves, and it's I always like that. It's something new, or it feels new. Maybe we've been doing it for years, but I think in the past 3 years we've done it where they show up late in the evening, and then we'll just, you know, play games, watch movies. It's pretty smooth. Family, man. The holidays is family. And food. You know? Family and food. I mean, there's a story from your stomach right there, man. Families and food.
So I shouldn't be complaining about.
Is there a result here? No. You know, I don't know. I always feel like there's trauma and there's grudges and there's like animosity, but all of those are like negative and hurtful for everybody involved. And I don't know. I don't want to forget it. It can't be forgotten. But I don't want to make it. I don't want to waste my time just fucking hurting or being angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's I don't know if it's a mindset or
it's that trauma. I think I'm pretty sure we mentioned it before, like the intergenerational trauma. It's there. It's part of it. And maybe our tribe wasn't a part of it, but tribes in general are a people. From here, and I don't know. It's there. It's there, and you're aware. And you mention it, and immediately you're taken there. You know what I mean? Like we're part of it.
Yeah.
And like just one mention of it, and it's there, and it's you, and it's us, and it's them, and it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, I
mean, I don't know what I'm getting at. I guess I'm just getting all dark here.
No, it's sentimental.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like that. Or maybe it's just with Christmas or that time where it's kind of like winding down. The years sort of winding down.
Yeah.
There's a countdown, pretty much.
It's coming. Y2K.
Maybe it's that what we're channeling is that in a sentimental mood where you're in a tradition but you're getting older and suddenly there are kids and around you that that weren't there before and you actually start to see who's in your life or be appreciative and thankful and because I remember I think Christmas like it maybe drove me not crazy but it I always want to be be able to give somebody something.
Yeah.
And then maybe I had a bad year financially, or I was in school and I couldn't get everybody anything, or or it wasn't what I expected I should be giving because again the commercialized way we're kind of thought to be of value and I don't know, it's just again being sort of programmed to these expectations of the time and Christmas a few years I was like finishing off the year or finishing off that time frame or whatever. I was like, damn, I not disappointed, but then I almost kind of having to refigure out the meaning of it. Oh, that's not what it's about. And then, no, you did pretty good. It's just sort of always confused me at certain times because it, just what I was going through, I was always sort of like missing the meaning, Yeah.
Well, what is the meaning, Sky?
I don't know. I'm trying to think what I learned from the last Christmas because what was the last Christmas? No, this and then but then you get personally wrapped around these holidays too, you know.
Yeah.
But honestly, last Christmas for me was, you know, I was putting all my funds into just being able to get what I need to travel to Vegas with my team.
Yeah.
You know, so I kept saying to myself, like, this is my Christmas, because, I mean, we went to Vegas, and it was like Christmas was 2 weeks after, and I had done no shopping.
Yeah.
I had my ideas of what I was going to get when I was shopping, but it was like, or even, I mean, I had that whole, my mind was on whatever funds need out of my own that I need to get this done, I'm putting it here. So, like, I guess that's what kind of sometimes it can be, where you're giving because you want to give, but then, you know, just because you give doesn't mean, or just because you don't give somebody something doesn't mean you wouldn't give them anything. I don't know. I mean, that was always a thing too. But anyways, yeah, so like, I guess for me it was always like financial, but it always fucking gets wrapped up around, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think lately I've been trying to like, not make it that thing, like, you know, if I do spend a lot of money, it's like, I really think they need something, or it's something that they're going to use or benefit from, but, you know, I think, yeah, or maybe not getting a whole bunch of things, just getting somebody just one thing, and it being really, you know, more about the gift rather than, you know, how much it costs, or if it was like, not so much something they wanted, because I think that's also a part of it too, because like, you can give gifts to your kids they want, you know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a parent in that way, but how many Christmases have you had with your kid?
This will be the 4th.
I mean,
well, he's 3, but I want to say the 4th.
Yeah. So, I mean, has Christmas changed since that? You've had to think differently, or, I mean...
There was I got this picture on my phone, and I took it of my mom sitting, like, she was sitting on a chair with a box in her lap full of ornaments, and the kids were all standing in front of the tree, and like I had the lights on the tree, and she was holding up this really fucking old ornament, and I think she got it in like 1982, something like that, and it was like her college roommate had given it to her, or one of her coworkers. Like, I can't remember the story, but I took a picture, and it was of her showing the kids, and they were all kind of looking up at it, and that was kind of like a moment for me, like, wow, like, how many Christmases have I spent, you know, doing that with her, talking about each ornament as we pulled them out of the box, about what year they were from. Like, we try to do that every year, is get ornaments, at least every year for all of us, and then, like, you know, it's there every time we set up the tree. And and so I was used to doing that with her myself, and now I was looking at her doing that for Amadeus and my niece and my nephew, and it just kind of hit me like, wow, like, I was just glad that my mom was there to know them,
Yeah.
And my dad knows them. It was kind of a shocking moment. Like, I was enjoying what I saw, and I took a picture of it. Like, capture that moment where I realized they're doing this with their grandmother, and maybe one day they'll be doing it with their kids. Probably long after I've died of a early heart attack or something. Some kind of stress-related injury.
Yeah. Get struck by lightning.
Probably on the holidays too. Yeah.
Oh man, but I guess the concept of everything's still the same, or
yeah, family.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a kid kind of made me. It's such a role reversal. It blows my mind. Like being as little as them at one point and experiencing the holiday, and now I'm on the other end of the table as the parent. It's different. It's I think it makes you realize mortality in a way. It's like, all right, I'm headed down the road, and now they're the important ones. And I don't know.
I guess what are you going to teach your kid about Christmas?
What's funny is I don't think I'm really pushing Santa. Like we're like, oh, Santa, the imagery is everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, Santa, and he's excited. He sees, the Salvation Army guys out there with their hats, and there's pictures on TV, and you see it everywhere. And I've never really pushed like, oh, there's this man sneaking into the house and leaving presents. I didn't really push that, but he knows of Santa. The imagery, obviously. And what I would teach him is, I guess another family gathering. Like, there's not that. I mean, as a kid, you always kind of love and can't wait to get all these little gifts and trinkets. A bunch of opening. It's like your second birthday. You're getting all these gifts.
Oh yeah. Excited.
Yeah, like, and now, like, hopefully down the road, I'm still around, and he's in his teens, and he has some sort of sense of what about how important family is.
Yeah.
And spending time with them, which, holidays afford us from time to time. Even if you're cross with the holiday, it's still a holiday for the nation we live in. And, nations. And, because of it, it affords us that time. It's a U.S. holiday. Well, I guess it's a world holiday if you want.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't know.
Is it a world holiday because we're consumers and that's the time? Like, I'm kind of going back to the.
I just blew my own mind. Like, whoa. It feels like it's an American thing. Like, maybe the American thing is more about the consuming aspect.
Wow.
Like,
you might have struck a chord. Now you kind of think about
capitalism.
Like, it's still December in Brazil and England,
Yeah.
That time, that month or whatever didn't change. Kind of makes you feel, not that you're underestimating country, but like sort of what the country is all about. In some weird way, I don't know. Like being able to sell you something, and
yeah,
because of this reason, you know.
So, I kind of want to take us off topic because it occurred to me. I had this thought the other day, and it had to do with people. Like we were just saying about we're all experiencing the holiday kind of worldwide, and along the lines of worldwide and human experience. And I'm going to bring up aliens, of course, again. I was just thinking the other day about religion. And, there's Christians and then there's good Christians or whatever. Like, there's these... In all the religions, there's bad people and good people, and there's really horrible good people. Like there's... there are some that seem to be doing it right, where they're using the religion to uplift themselves and treat people nice and, live their life by a code.
Yeah.
And they're good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I was thinking about the other day was, what if, and it's a big if, because I like to think of things as like ancient aliens, in terms of ancient aliens all the time. And they're always presenting the arrival of gods and messengers as balls of light and whatnot. And a lot of religions are saying, oh, this God spoke to people and set out these rules, like the commandments. And and I'm always thinking about all these sightings of UFOs and all that. And I'm always and the big question is, all right, so they're here. They're here, or say they are, say they aren't. Why aren't we making contact, like real contact? And I was thinking the other day, like, what if these instructions and rules that were handed down were from them, and had we figured out how to use it to all be in that kind of positive region of improving yourselves, taking care of your neighbor, loving that neighbor, treating people the way you want to be treated. What if everybody had come in line and followed those rules and all like, this is a big if, but what if we all fell into that category of the self-improvement? What if these instructions were here and we all fell into line with that, and boom, we're a unified people, the earthlings, and then boom, they show up and make contact because we finally all figured it out. Like, what do you think about that? What does that make you?
You got me up until that last part where, like, if we figured it out, then hey, the jig's up or whatever. But it could be true.
Or it's the beginning, like say they are. Well, obviously they're more advanced. If they are what they are. What if we all figure it out and become unified, and then boom, we're ready for the next step, contact or the message, like.
Wow, I mean that's a big reach, but.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge reach, but I was thinking about it the other day.
I mean, so So what? I guess it's because we realize we're celebrating these holidays, or we figure out the meaning of these holidays, and then suddenly we're more pure and
yeah. Well, what if we were to rise above the commercialism, and we all figured out?
Oh,
not just our own.
I don't know.
Maybe not just our own families, but we're all family. Like, I mean, I've had a couple people call me a liberal, and I felt ashamed about it. But this is how I talk. It's like, what if we all unified up? You know, what if we all rose above the commercialism, like I said, and then found family and treated everybody like family, and we all worked out. And by worked out, I mean we're no longer killing each other in the ways that we do, like between peoples.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm like,
it's a big what if. I think I just took us in a different direction here.
Yeah, I mean, but it's definitely, it's kind of like a big riddle, but
yeah, well, I'm constantly riddling about it. Like, what's up with these? Like, if they were aliens, if they were, like, I'm constantly feeling small on this planet, you know. And sometimes the best I've ever felt was realizing that we're all in it on the planet. We're all breathing the air, you know. We're all lucky to be here on these special circumstances where there's a moon and a sun and we're alive, you know. Despite all these things we're celebrating, like holidays and separating ourselves from each other, like as, oh, this is an American holiday, oh, this is their holiday and not our holiday. Like, what if I'm always thinking about other beings. Like, what else is out there? Like, what's, you know, we've played out at what's going on down here on Earth, and sure, there's plenty of new stuff, but a lot of it's just stuff. Like we're people, and we don't treat each other as people, as the same. And I'm always just wondering, like, man, like, if there was a key to enlightenment, or, you know, something better than what we're used to, why haven't we made contact? You know, why? What more do we need to do?
Maybe we have made contact, but we couldn't follow through on their instructions.
Yeah.
Well, not us, but like government or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
this is out there.
I definitely think they're out here, or they're around, however you want to interpret that, but it's like they're a planet, and we're a planet, and
yeah, and we just so happen to work out.
So I don't know, but I guess is there a stigma about the capabilities of an alien or alien species or whatever? Because it's like, we don't know what they are, or what they do, or what they can do, but you just kind of go off of, or maybe some people do, but I just sometimes it seems like it could go either way, like a pretty cool interaction, or not so great interaction, but
extinction.
I'm definitely on the point where I believe they're here, but I don't know about if it's like a solve this riddle and, you know, open up the box for you guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, but
it was kind of random, and it was a lot of ifs.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, well, besides entertainment, or what would they get out of that?
I have no idea. What do we get out of anything? Like these holidays we were talking about. Like how?
What you pointed out to me was that we appreciate the time with the ones that we care about, which is family and friends, and
yeah.
And we kind of put the meaning aside and just enjoy the fact that, you know, that we get to be together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The aliens want us to remember that we need to be together. But then, is the American dream really about coining off of that feeling? You know, like buy lattes, you know, buy a bowl, buy a fucking,
buy a pie.
Buy a bunny, buy a chocolate bunny, you know? Buy a Valentine's Day card.
Oh, buy your family gifts.
Buy firecrackers, you know, buy champagne.
Yeah. What a trip.
All
right.
You know, buy candy.
I told you before I wanted to talk about voting. And
voting?
Yeah, I kind of want to bring this up. Since you're talking about buy. It brings up another concern I have about the United States in general. I mean, it's a world power. We're a part of it. I think we've all had family in the wars, and in the military.
Yeah.
And family, friends, whatever. Our country is evolving on a world scale, and it's being driven by capitalism. And I'm just concerned how far that will go. Again, I like to apply the cosmic timeline way down the road from now, where we headed. And I'm concerned that getting money is just the name of the game now. And it's more about getting more money the next year, you know, the following quarter. Like, I just had a meeting last night with our bosses of Lowe's, and they were talking about the stocks rising and profit, like how much we're looking to make every night. We read a list about what the target amount of sales we were shooting for versus last year, and whether or not we got it. We beat it, we did less than it, we got enough. How are we doing? Like that's kind of how everybody's working right now. Like, our politicians who are supposed to be, you know, looking out for us, and you know, are they actually literally looking out for us, me and you, where we are? Do we even exist on their radar? And if they're concerned with capitalism, where people are paying them to think a certain way, or to speak a certain way, or to vote a certain way, then the people with the money are making more decisions about what we should do next. And I'm just concerned that the capitalism will become so hardcore. It'll be like you can't look away from the commercials anymore. Like they'll pop up in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we'll be overrun with it. Like we'll be getting sold shit out of, we'll have sold shit coming out of our ears. Products and fucking commercialism. Skeletons on Halloween. Like yes, I enjoy the family part way more, but like I'm looking down the road, I'm like, where the hell is this going? All this money changing hands, and who's making the decisions? Like, where we go next?
Yeah.
I mean, man, I've taken us on a severe turn or a big tangent here. I almost feel like I killed our momentum on holidays, but
yeah.
But this is what I think about.
Well, voting is a holiday.
You're right. When you're right.
But it's not a holiday we all celebrate, or I don't know. My opinion of voting has just fucking changed over time,
Yeah.
And then we live in a world where it's so easy to have a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And have bad information about somebody you voted for, or I don't know, like even right now with Trump, like people that vote for him kind of, I don't know if it's just the region, but they're not too proud in this area. But like, I don't know. It's sort of like, I don't know if in general, if it just became more, not commercialized, but just sort of like, I don't know, man, it used to seem like it was a serious thing, but now it don't. It kind of lost prestige. And even now with what they're talking about with voting in general and not trusting the mail, like, or it being rigged, or it was rigged, or whatever, it's just kind of like, does my vote even matter, Because what you're saying and what is happening are not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know where I'm going, but
rigged.
I almost like am not considering voting this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just how I feel, but I haven't decided yet. But it does seem like some shady shit's gonna happen. Like, it's how it goes. Like, people vote if they have time, really.
Yeah.
And people schedule nowadays, like, they might not have time. And so, what I saw too was they're telling people to mail in their ballot, vote early.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, but like, it's almost like vote early because some shit's gonna go down. But if this is supposed to be because it was like that, like how to make it feel like your vote counts. It was what the people want. It's sort of like, I don't know. It just feels misleading now.
Yeah. It's hard to believe them.
My vote counts, like, wow. But then again, like, to the thing we're voting for, will it make a difference in the long run? Because I think that's sort of where, like, man, it was cool voting for Obama. It was cool. It was cool because it was like monumental.
Yeah.
But then again, like, there's there's a line in one of J. Cole's songs where he's kind of talking about Obama and kind of still having hope that there's going to be reparations paid, you know, with the whole, like, black people getting, you know, like, a meal and 10 acres to have a fair. And so, but he also says, like,
all right,
like,
are you talking
they don't,
reparations now?
No, I mean, just, it was sort of just kind of like aligned with the expectations of a black president and kind of like, oh, he's going to really change things up, but then he kind of describes America as a sinking ship, and like Obama didn't even know it was a sinking ship till he got in the actual behind the wheel to see like, oh shit, this shit is sinking, you know. So it's like, did that matter that it was monumental and that it was you know, the first time that there was that I could vote for a black president that was going to win, you know. I don't know. It's so many things go through my mind now that time frame ended, and then look who followed him.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I mean. The prestige kind of went. I mean, even with Clinton, like, I have respect for the guy. I mean, you know, like, that's the president, you know, sort of like,
yeah,
that's the boss. But, like, now I kind of don't have that same regard.
All right. Would you say that it was you being older now and knowing more, or is it just the person who's in office?
I think it's just the person in office.
Well, yeah, I guess because Obama was presidential.
Yeah, I mean, he addressed you in a professional manner that was like, this is the guy in charge.
Yeah.
I don't get that anymore.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't. But I really haven't had faith in the government overall for a long time. Like, it just all seems shitty, and like I said earlier, it feels rigged. And I have to bring up my mom. Like, when I wanted to talk with her about it, I immediately realized I'm going to tell her this, and then she's going to say, well, can't bitch about it unless you do something about it. Has always been kind of her attitude.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Like, hey, bitch, you don't like the electoral colleges? You better start voting to get rid of it. Like, do something. Is kind of what she told me. Like, quit bitching if you're not doing something. That's kind of been her attitude. And I've always respected that. But, you know, I could hear her voice before I even saw her. I could hear in the back of my head, like, bitch, you better vote then. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's like jury duty, you know. You use the excuse of like, oh, I didn't want to let the wrong person go.
Yeah, gotta go do your civic duty.
I don't know. That's a good way of. I mean, you don't. It's like the lottery, you know. You don't win if you don't play.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah. All right. So, say you feel better about voting. Say you do your early mail-in vote.
Yeah.
Say it goes the other way than what you were expecting. Do you no longer feel good about voting, or did it still matter? Say the entire country voted one way, and then it got turned into something else and went the other way. Would you still feel next year like my vote counts?
Wait, so...
Cause like, yes, I hear my mom. Yes, I want to do something about it. Yes, the majority of the time I don't know what to do. And at the same time, I always feel like if I get involved in this shit, like, will it matter? Like, I often think that, like, the government's for show now, and there's a smaller group running it and making these decisions, regardless of what the people vote for. Which I think kind of has a little bit to do with all this rioting. Like, yeah, it got kicked off by a bunch of horrible events, but at the same time, like, people have been pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, pissed off. And like, the grassroots of what the government's supposed to be, the idea, you know, the original idea, like, people are fucking outraged. I'm outraged, but then what? What do you do about it? Go out and vote? Is that gonna fix it in 4 years?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So I often wonder, alright.
But is that just having a bad attitude?
Huh?
But by us saying that, are we just having a bad attitude?
Well, yeah. But what do you do? Like, like you just sit at home and stew with your bad attitude or your fucking distrust in the government? Do you go out and vote every chance you get and hope that it turns out the way you voted? You continue hoping for the best outcome? And what, like, if you're being serious, what do you think the actual outcome will be? I think this rioting is inevitable.
Yeah.
And because of how shitty it's been, this real shady shit going on, and there's not a lot of talking about it. There's people dying every day. You know, it's pretty fucking awful. And I often wonder, what's it gonna take to turn this big ass ship around? Like, what? I'm willing to do something, but I don't believe in the classic ways of doing something.
Yeah.
I've lost all faith in that.
I totally agree with what you're saying.
So far lately, I've been keeping my ear to the ground and trying to figure out what way the wind's blowing, and just being prepared mentally. Probably not physically, but just mentally being prepared for what may come next.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's been a lot of distractions. And maybe the holidays are just distractions, but yeah, I mean, there's that time frame of just bullshit that you deal with, and there's a breaking point where you're fed up, but you're willing to go another route.
Yeah.
Any
idea what that route is?
No, I'm saying another route, meaning like protesting.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like you still gotta follow through on it, but the outcome is might not be what you think it's gonna be. It might be horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's sort of.
There's always that.
So it's kind of. I don't know. I mean, it's almost like, what do you stand for? You know.
Yeah. That's actually a great way of putting it. What do you stand for?
You know, but then I was reading something the other day, and it was like, you know, sometimes silence says a lot after, you know, and just because you're silent when everyone's talking doesn't mean you don't have anything to say, or doesn't mean you didn't do anything that was fixing it or trying to be, you know, proactive about it. Like, sometimes silence is all that can be said. It just kind of plays out later on.
How do you play out silence on a national scale?
No, you can't, because I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, with, you know, everybody's situation, you know, like where everybody's at in their life, like, I mean, or if you gotta be there, you know, like, I was watching this video of this lady the other day, and it was pretty much her having a mental breakdown after the riots.
Oh, really?
And she was yelling at the cops, you know, pretty much saying she was stressed out and she didn't want doing this, but yeah, that's what she stood for. So she was enduring it, and it's pretty sad because she could be numb to it all and just go back to her life. And but, you know, like, again, if you go that route, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been able to, or at least in my life right now, I'm not. I mean, it's like I've been protesting, but where I'm at right now, I'm kind of like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And maybe that's not holding up a sign or something, or whatever. You know, it's just, I think that term is kind of like, there's a lot of interpretations of it. So like, yeah, I mean, even just, like, I think we talked about that, where it was like the riots are the boys. I don't know. It's like, I can't remember what it was, but it was just sort of like, when there's all this trauma and violence, and you know, the silence are going to come out. I mean, it's just like, the riots are the voices of the unheard. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, okay, I heard that expression.
It's just kind of like,
that wasn't that like a Winston Churchill quote or something?
I think it was Martin Luther King.
Actually, I think you're right.
It was, but it's like, I think what we're seeing is silence for so long.
Yeah, well,
and
that's what I was saying earlier, was just people are fed up.
Yeah.
And this is the result.
Yeah.
Have you been paying attention to the news lately? Like keeping up?
No.
Because I haven't heard anything lately in a while. Like, it's just...
Well, there was a protest somewhere in Coolidge, Casa Grande area, and it was actually a metal.
A metal?
a metal shop or a metal company that is kind of supplying the metal for the wall down south. So people were protesting their offices. I think yesterday or today. I'm not too sure. But
you mean about building the wall?
Yeah, you mean the material. The people that are supplying the material for the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people protesting.
Interesting. I hadn't heard that. That's really interesting.
I mean, it's probably going on at the moment as we're talking.
What kind of people are there?
I don't know. I mean, I saw I didn't even read the full letter, but it was like, we're going to be in this area. And my brother was talking about it, but I really don't have much info. But I mean, it's pretty tactical. How do you say that? Tactical. Tactical. Is that a word?
There's tactical, and then there's
yeah, tactical. I think that's the one. I mean, they're not done with the wall. I mean, it still needs a lot of shit to go. So
yeah,
if they can't get to it, and
I think it's a big fucking waste of money.
Oh yeah, for real. I mean,
the wall's been there.
I mean, I guess we're talking about like in 20 years from now, like, will we have straightened up administration-wise to have someone say we're tearing that shit down? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder.
How long is it going to take for them to take that shit down? Will they ever?
That's an interesting concept. I don't know. That's you're saying the administration changes, and it's somebody who goes like maybe a historical moment, like in the past, tear down this wall.
Yeah.
Wow. Free these fucking families. All these encampments.
Mhm.
We're living in a crazy time.
Yeah.
Shit's fucked up, and people are pissed off.
I know.
Huh.
It's kind of weird how politicians are like rallying, trying to get your vote, or saying what you want to hear so that you vote for them. You know?
Yeah.
He's trying to come off as I understand, I'm going to change.
Yeah, I'm going to change everything.
If I have your vote,
Yeah, if I got your vote, I will fix everything. In 4 years.
Yeah.
In 4 years' time, maybe 8, I'll fix everything. But you gotta vote.
Yeah, you gotta vote for me. Man, I don't know. Yeah, the other podcast I was listening to where they're talking about like other voting processes and stuff, and not even being able to vote, or only having one option to vote. And then I guess going back to our voting thing, are we past the point to where we don't think it's not corrupt, or is there still some justice and?
Well,
and what you're saying, does that shit really count now? Or
say we all vote. And then somebody goes, I demand a recount. Then what? Say it changes, alright? If we went with it the first time and nobody spoke up and said, I demand a recount, then we end up with the other president. It's a weird fucking thing, man. I don't know how to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, you know, they kind of get the blame. You know, they're sort of...
Who's they?
Whoever wins the whoever wins the vote, whoever wins the vote, you know, whoever gets the most votes, technically, or whatever, whoever they announce as the winner.
They get what? Alright, so...
They get the blame. I mean, they ultimately get whatever bad comes with it, too.
Yeah.
And...
For 4 years, at minimum.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, when shit goes wrong, you know, your name is thrown in there, you know. But, like, again, that's what I'm saying, the prestige kind of went away because it seemed like presidents weren't trying to do that, but, I don't know, maybe I don't know, my way of seeing things as a kid, like, what it meant to be the president, and now I'm an adult, it's like, maybe it doesn't mean anything, you know, it's just a title and a position and salary. I mean, they make bank, but, like, you know, you're sort of that guy that takes the blame, and...
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with any of this.
I don't know. We're just riffing at this point.
The vote and but you know, like I think it was in Greek, like how they will vote was with beans, and
how a vote was what? What it means?
They will use beans, like they'll put beans in wherever they had the vote, like. And that's where the term, like, spill the beans came from, is because they would spill out the beans and they would see
really?
Who all voted for what, yeah. So, like, if all the color of the beans came out the same color, you know, that was the winner. But the term spill the beans was sort of like, like when you find out who the winner is or who won, or... And they got to do it over because there's not enough.
Yeah, it looks too mixed in colors.
Can you imagine how long that shit would take if we all had to formally agree on somebody? Like, if someone said, hey, I want a recount, then it's like, you know, plead case, and how long that would take, you know?
Yeah, well, they got to plead their case, and then they got to agree to it, and then they got to do it, and then say it's the opposite. What do we do? Best out of 3?
Yeah,
where does that shit end? Because then it's, you know, alright, 1 for you, and alright, 1 for you. Let's do a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
It's
a shit show, brother. And I think that's a good note to end on. It's like, I like that you brought that concept, spill the beans, like, good for you. It made me feel good. I learn something every day.
I'm glad I could do that for you.
Yeah. and all I was thinking was, what if some of those beans got wet and they just started growing in the thing of beans?
I don't think it was that long.
That's just where my mind goes. That's a I've never heard that. Spill the beans. And
but you know how people use spill the beans as
you
like
gotta spill them. You gotta spill them. Spill it.
You're sharing information that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, spill the beans.
But it's referring to that voting system of.
Wow.
everybody having those same beings, or everybody being on the same boat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Every day you learn something new.
Yeah. And
Like I said, that for you.
I think. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
Go up.
think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, I'm gonna cherish the time more during those holidays and not worry so much about what they mean versus what they mean to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a good life hack. So you gave me something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good day. It's a win. I'm still waiting for one of these to be available, though.
Oh shit!
Where we at on that? What's up with that?
Well, you can put me on blast, man. Let me hit
I mean,
the button.
you could turn off the mic, but
no, I hear you.